Welcome to my views and news. Some news stories for you. First one is about a statement from a former ENDF general Bacha, who was leading Ethiopian National Defense Force troops last year. Then he was relieved from ENDF and appointed as Ethiopian ambassador to Kenya. And today he spoke in a social media message. I think he warned Oromo Liberation Army and Oromo opposition politicians. What did he say? Secondly, viewers, Oromia were kidnapping for ransom going on for some time. We have been reporting that allegedly Oromo Liberation Army and some other factions are involved in these incidents, and BBC yesterday published an article about some factory workers who were allegedly kidnapped by OLA and they were released after paying a ransom. Thirdly, Somalia-Somaliland talks are starting reportedly. Where are the talks starting? Two presidents are going to meet reportedly. It has not been made public so far. We have details for you. And lastly, in Eritrea, delegations are arriving from neighboring and other countries for the funeral ceremony of Abune Kirlos, a 96-year-old former patriarch of Eritrean Orthodox Church who died this week. First, viewers, General Bacha, former general and now serving Ethiopian ambassador to Kenya. Staunch critic of TPLF. He led ENDF troops last year when Tigray forces were in Amhara and Afar regions. Later, he was relieved from ENDF and appointed as Ethiopian ambassador to Kenya. We know that he was seen while talks were held in Nairobi, Kenya a few days ago between General Varede and General Banjula of ENDF. And he traveled to Ethiopia after the signing of the agreement. He accompanied General Banjula when he returned to Ethiopia. Now, he seems to be addressing Oromo Liberation Army indirectly. What did he say? In a message, a social media message, a few hours ago, he said, there are some who cannot learn from TPLF. Who is stupid? What is he talking about? Definitely, he is talking about what is happening in Oromia. Protests ongoing, maybe a start of some anti-government movement, talks being proposed between Oromo Liberation Army and government by Oromo opposition politicians. Government is not in the mood to start talks. Bacha is sending a message to OLA that OLA will be treated like TPLF was treated. TPLF fought for its survival. It almost surrendered. It signed an agreement of capitulation in Pretoria, South Africa. So he is saying that other groups, dissidents, armed groups should learn a lesson from what happened to TPLF. Will OLA listen to General Bacha advice? I think what I've been saying is that government is going to adopt the same model against OLA which it did against TPLF. It will try to weaken OLA militarily and then it will expect OLA to negotiate from not from a position of strength but from a position of weakness. Can Ethiopian federal government achieve the military leverage in Oromia which it achieved in Tigray? That remains to be seen. But Bacha is definitely warning Oromo Liberation Army and Kenya is very crucial, viewers, for this fight against OLA because Oromo Liberation Army has its bases in Kenya. We have been reporting in previous videos that OLA fighters were seen there, and Ethiopian government have been trying to launch operations on Kenya-Ethiopia border. And parties like Azim Abrahamnaga, they have been accusing Kenya that Kenyan soil was being used by Oromo Liberation Army. Now, Bacha is Ethiopian ambassador to Kenya. Secondly, viewers, kidnappings of ransom underway in Oromia. OLA is involved, according to international news outlets. BBC published a report yesterday, I think. And BBC shared details about the release of some factory workers. Last week in Vashava zone of Oromia, in Adda Baraga, factory workers were kidnapped. Dagnote cement factory workers were kidnapped. They were traveling, their vehicle, their bus was stopped. Their identities were confirmed and they were kidnapped. OLA was accused that OLA was behind the kidnappings. And now, reportedly, BBC claims that the factory workers, around 30 of them, have been released. And they paid huge sums of money, between 300,000 and 500,000 Ethiopian birrs. Released, but released workers silent. Dagnote cement factory administration silent. No one is naming OLA. Why? Obviously, people don't want to endanger their lives. They won't speak against OLA. That is what is happening in Oromia, that even PP party officials, the family members are being abducted by OLA and they are released after paying a ransom. But government covers up all these things as if nothing is happening. No, all of such things is happening in Oromia. OLA and some other groups are reportedly involved. Thirdly, viewers, talks going to start between Somaliland and Somalia. Somaliland is self-declared country in the Horn of Africa. Somalia says that Somaliland is part of Somalia. The two held talks in the past too, but they could not reach some sort of understanding. And now talks going to start with the new administration in power in Mogadishu. Hassan Sheikh was elected as the new president of Somalia in May this year. Talks going to start where? In Djibouti, reportedly. Not made public, but reportedly Musibai Abdi, Somaliland's president, today departed for Djibouti. And reportedly, Hassan Sheikh, Somalia's president, is already there in Djibouti. So in Djibouti, there could be a direct meeting between Hassan Sheikh and Musibai Abdi. Hassan Sheikh is in a position to make big decisions, but not Musibai Abdi. Musibai Abdi is going to contest election next year after a few months. I don't think he is in a position to make big decisions. He won't make a decision which will hurt his ambitions for next term. I personally think that Musibai Abdi might not make a big decision, or he'll make the decision which will be in accordance with the wishes of the people. What do people want? What does majority of Somaliland people want? Does it want to remain independent, or does it want to be part of Somalia? I think Musibai Abdi will not make big decisions. He'll try to keep his support base appeased before the election. Yes, we could see some changes after the election in Somaliland due to be held next year. Lastly, viewers, Eritrea, where delegations are arriving from other countries, delegations of Orthodox Church officials as Abone Kerlos, fifth patriarch of Eritrean Orthodox Church, passed away this week. He's going to be laid to rest. His funeral ceremony will be attended by Orthodox Church officials from other countries too. From Ethiopia, reportedly, Abune Jacob and Abune Petros have departed for Asmara, Eritrean capital. From Egypt, a top delegation of Orthodox Church is going to attend this funeral program in Eritrea. We'll update you in coming videos about the funeral of Abune Kerlos, the patriarch, 96-year-old, who was made the patriarch last year, but this week he passed away. Thanks for watching.